never a doubt, never a worry, not even a little bit of stress. Hello everyone, this is CJanovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And ladies and gentlemen, we just had the joy and the privilege of watching another fantastic and enthralling Rangers game. And this emotional rollercoaster truly has me contemplating where I am in life. Do I like the idea of a Rangers game more than actually watching it these days with the way we're playing? Probably, ladies and gentlemen, but all that is sort of irrelevant when you consider the fact that it is the business end of the season. It is do or die time. It is win by hook or by crook, and we finally returned to winning ways in Scottish football just when we needed to do it. Now, yes, we should have been doing it more recently, but you've seen our slump. We've seen the results. They have all passed. We can't go and change them. All we can do is win, and ladies and gentlemen, that is what our team did. As ugly can be, did we necessarily deserve the win? The longer you watch today's video, probably not when you actually look at the balance of the play, but we've got somebody in the sticks that is single-handedly saving our season, and we've got our number 9 up top that despite the criticism is scoring the goals that's getting us these points. And somebody decent back here, somebody decent up there was the key difference in today's game and stopped me from looking like Bill Murray talking about a groundhog in terms of the Ross County game, as I've genuinely thought for the large majority of it, it was a carbon copy. It felt the same, it looked the same, but thankfully this one or a better ending. So credit where credit is due, we managed to get over the actual edge, but we do drastically need to get better, especially in a couple key positions. But again, I want to talk into the two players that I mentioned. We've already mentioned Jack Butland. I'll try and keep this one short and keep this one sweet because you're going to hear him a lot if you stay through the game recap. This man single-handedly is keeping our season alive. The saves that he made today, honestly, is incredible. He made one just shy at half-time that will go down as the best save of the season. By far, it's already won the award. There's no point even looking at the rest of the games. It was ridiculous, but he's done that all season long. You look at the clean sheets, you look at the plaudits that he's got, but you look at the guys that's in front of them that continue to allow shots after shot and chance after chance. The job that Jack Butland has done genuinely couldn't be done any better than what he's actually doing. To go on from McGregor to Butland could not have worked any better, and any shortcomings or any failings that this Rangers side may have now towards the end of the season, that man hasn't got a single ounce of any of that guilt and any of that disappointment, because if you take him out of our team and you put any other goalie that's a number 1 in Scottish football into the sticks with that back four and a defence in front of it, and I'm saying that very, very lightly, we are a hell of a lot worse position, and I think that's the best attribute you can give him. Not only is the best goalkeeper in the country, but again in terms of form, there's honestly no too many I take on him right now, and I didn't think could do a better job than what he's actually doing in the sticks with just idiots in front of him that's just letting shots rain down like we're in platoon. And the other players, obviously Cyril Dessers, again a guy that's heavily criticised, and whether you like him or no, this man has now reached 20 goals in a Rangers team, and he's now outscored Morelos in 4 of his 6 seasons at the football club. Reminder, this is Dessers' first season. He had Bilbao mania, he's had no consistency anywhere near him because they've been getting injured, changes. The only real consistent in our team has actually been Dessers, because he doesn't limp off the park feeling sorry for himself. He doesn't go in a slump or anything like that. He just turns up and he is what he is. Pulls the bits on, listens to all the noise, listens to all the criticisms, but he's the first on the team sheets, first after that white line, and he puts his hard work in, and he's just one of the guys you want to be a successful. And I know there's going to be people that hate him and everything like that, and that's completely fair if you feel that way, but I just see a guy that pulls on the bits, ladies and gentlemen, and gives his all every single game. Is he what we possibly could dream? Isn't he? It could be, no, he's never gonna be that, but what he is a difference maker, and he continues to show. And just looking at St Mirren alone, his goals has won us 6 points from our last 2 games versus St Mirren. That's what a striker is supposed to be doing. So big Cyril, thank you son. But I'll be honest, I do find myself in a very awkward position because I'm very delighted about picking up the 3 points. Trust me, I feel it with every fibre in my being, and I have gave 2 praises to 2 Rangers players I feel that deserve it. However, it doesn't mean I'm overly happy with what I witnessed with that game of football, because it was really ugly. And once again, we start games unforgivably in Scottish football. It's just no good enough. The attitude and the application of some of the players in this team is absolutely shambolic. We're talking about fire, we're talking about desire, we're talking about title running. When are they actually going to show it? Because honestly, and I'm looking you right dead in the eyes when I say this, if the half-time whistle went and that finished it was 3-0, sorry, to St Mirren, I wouldn't argue and I wouldn't have batted an eye, because they created so many opportunities and they carved us open so many times that, again, the only man that stopped them was Jack Butland. And it's incredible to look at just how bad we're starting games, because once again, not only do we concede another shot in the first minute of a game, making it 4 of our last 5 matches, we've conceded a shot on our goal within a minute of a game. Like, how does that even happen? Like, where's the attitude? Where's the intensity? We're so slow to get to the boil. It is absolutely shambolic that we can go 15 minutes into a game versus St Mirren, ladies and gentlemen, and have 0 shots on target. Do you know how many shots on target St Mirren had after 15 when we had 0? 3. Something needs to be done, man, because the attitude and the application just is absolutely shambolic, in my opinion. The way we're starting games are horrific, and we were just lucky we've got Jack Butland in there and no anybody else. And as we talk about the game recap, you'll hear more about this, because again, let's get in to these chances. The way we start games are absolutely embarrassing. 40 seconds on the clock, St Mirren's got a shot on our target. It's us supposed to be showing the response. It's us that's supposed to get the fire in the belly, that's in a title race, that's played pish, but now we've beat Hearts, so we're going to come out firing. The players are training hard, the players want it. Then why are we always outfought for the very first whistle? 40 seconds on the clock. It's very reminiscent of the old firm. A player putting the pressure on Tavernier, and Tavernier just doesn't do good enough defensively. I think he even tries to hit an outside of the foot pass. It's far too coy, it's far too stupid. Just roll it back to your goalie. Just pass it back to your goalie, and your goalie sends it to space. That's all it's needed. But he tries to do a pass, it goes to the St Mirren forward, he drives into the box, and it's a very good save for Jack Butland. And I'm sitting saying, oh my god, here we go. Well, the streak in terms of the league continues. Let's hope we show a better response, but truthfully we never, because again it was St Mirren creating an opportunity. I mean, there was one chance for Lunny where he hit it about a mile wide for like a curling effort, but that's all we mustered in the first 12-13 minutes of the game. It was another defensive mistake for Tavernier. I mean, when I seen the starting 11, Mars clenched when I seen Barisic come back into the 11, but it was the right side that was the problem. I know nobody wants to actually talk about that, but it was Tavernier that started and looked like he was wearing Barisic pyjamas, and it was worrying to actually see as he tries to flick the ball up again, and then he's sitting going, and it just allows St Mirren to run through on goal and force another phenomenal save versus Butland. Now, I'm not too sure if it would eventually be given offside or anything like that, but can I just speak to you? How many years and how many goals and how many big opportunities? I'm thinking about Motherwell, I'm thinking about Celtic, I'm thinking about these games, not this season, but years, troops, where all your defence stands and goes, and all this stuff, and then the opposition run and score. Play to the whistle. It's the fundamentals, and they teach it at primary school. I also have to give Barisic his credit here, by the way, because after the low-driven save for Jack Butland to claw that one for going into the back of net, Barisic reacts quickly enough and gets the ball sent to outer space where it should have been originally. And then we're going, oh my god, we could have been 2-0 already. And then we started to muster just a little bit of football. It's no surprise that most of the magic came from Diamandi. I know had John Lundstrom had 158 shots in the game, but he really, and I mean really, used every ounce of his striking ability to score that goal versus Leipzig, because I've not seen him strike a ball clean since that day. You think of Dortmund away, and you think of that goal, you think of the movement and the precision. I know Leipzig wasn't exactly a screamer or that, but he just doesn't seem to connect with anything these days. You know what I mean? It's wild. But Diamandi was the spark in the middle. Nice little turn, plays into Dessers. Dessers then passes it into Diamandi again, who puts it into Tavernier. Tavernier hits a low-driven cross. I think Dessers missed it, if I'm honest, but the replay actually shows you the defender slid in to stop Dessers for getting a tap in, and luckily for St Mirren, the slide in has hit the goalie and no ended up being an own goal. But considering the way that happened versus Ross County and the way we played after taking the lead for an own goal, I dared to say Well, we're probably lucky in that. But our first true shot on target came 5 or 6 minutes later when Lundstrom sort of hits a half volley and it's kind of straight at the goalie, but it's a good save for that aspect. At least it was a shot on target, you know what I mean? I'm like, right, here we go. But then it was St Mirren again that created the next opportunity, jumping about 10 minutes in to the old future, which is now the past, which is currently your present troops. As the ball gets tripped to the back post, Big Mondron again gets his header on it. We featured him yesterday in the preview video in terms of the graphics because he is such a handful. He headers it back into an area, and I think it's O'Hara that ends up ballooning it air the bar where he's got a free header 6-7 yards out, and aye, that's a sitter. And then just like the Ross County game, when we are truly up against it and our backs are up against the wall, we get a set piece. However, this time we play it short. It goes to Barisic. Barisic whips it in to the back post, and it ends up going right to Diamandi, who does brilliantly to gamble, keep his eye on it. He does it in to a dangerous area, and Big Dessers is occupying the defender, forcing the defender to make the decision to make contact with it, and by doing that it ends up smashing it in to the back of net. And it took me back to that incident we just spoke about in terms of the own goal with Bolton sliding in and hitting the goal and them getting lucky in that aspect. Well, the luck ran out there and it's an own goal, meaning now the opposition centre backs has scored more goals from our corners than our own centre backs. Considering we're up 250 plus corners in the season, that there is such an embarrassing stat that it just has to fit with how embarrassing we are for set pieces. The best attacking threat we've got from our corners is the opposition's centre halves. But you're going to hear the comparison a lot to the Ross County game. You probably already heard it in today's video, but it was the exact same. We take the lead, maybe against the run of play through a fluky own goal, and then we just didn't start, we just didn't kick a ball, because less than 120 seconds after taking the lead against the run of play, saying, right, let's get up now, let's go at the lead, let's get a bit of composure on the ball, we just surrender the ball far too easily. Lunny's just so poor on the ball. It goes to St Mirren, they chip it right to the back post. The big centre forward gives Balogun maybe the treatment with the old hip, bumping him out the way. People can look at maybe the Chelsea-Aston Villa game and say, well, that goal got chopped off, I was there. No, I don't know. It's just a bit clever centre-forward play in my opinion. Morelos used to do it a lot. Dessers needs to get a hell of a lot better at it. Just gives him a wee nudge, gives him the space, and that puts Balogun out the road, and he just easily out-jumps Tavernier, and it's headed brilliantly into the back of net as it kisses the inside of the post, beats Jack Butland, and for probably fairness, it's 1-1. And usually you would think, well, a Rangers team will respond to that then, shall we? Going back to 1-1, getting pegged. Well, you're talking about composure, you're talking about possession, you're talking about chances. There was none. None. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of empty possessions in terms of just punting balls up the park. The only other team that created an opportunity before that half-time whistle went was St Mirren in the 45th minute when the ball came in. And I think it's O'Hara again, by the way, that actually volleys it. And somehow, someway, Jack Butland gets his hand to it with what is easily the best save I've seen this season, and goes right up there with best saves in recent memory. That there is why we win this game, because I'm telling you something right now. If we go back, if we go down 2-1 to St Mirren, we are no coming back. They've no got it, ladies and gentlemen. They just didn't have it. You can see it the way they're starting games and playing games and hanging in versus teams that can't afford 2 packets of Watsits and a single sitting based on their weekly salary. Alright, they've just no got it. So that save there cannot be understated or talked about enough, because that keeps our entire season alive. And aye, thank you, Butland. But again, you go into half-time, you're thinking to yourself, by God, it's been absolutely horrific. Barisic is one of our best players on the day. Diamandi's looking bright, but he's not getting enough the ball. We seem to be creating opportunities for Lundstrom rather than Diamandi. It's absolutely maddening the way we actually go about our business. But again, you're thinking to yourself, as a Rangers fan, as sickening as this is, to actually say, we're lucky to be only drawing with St Mirren, ladies and gentlemen. And by God, is that not a crazy statement to be saying, considering the football we were playing a month and a half ago. But again, I love this team so much. I'm like, right, we're going to come out in the second half, we're going to go at them. But it was the most boring 15 minutes from a Rangers perspective, whilst being the most exciting for St Mirren, because they pinned us in. We were pinned so far back that what we started today was what the Drost is. The St Johnson, the Livingston, play with one striker up top and hit long balls into the channels whilst having nobody anywhere near them, trying to win throw-ins and trying to win corners. That's what we were made today for the opening 15 minutes before a substitution was eventually actually made. And this is where I need to go with this as well, because Fabio Silva was withdrawn 55th minute of this game, and he's played 55 minutes too long, in my personal opinion. I don't know if it's in the loan contract that he needs to play X amount of games, but this guy doesn't deserve to be playing right now. He is less than a man doing, and he's absolutely chronic to watch. Every touch is horrific. He's diving all over the place. He's no getting involved. He's no linking with Dessers. It's bogging, and it's yet another starting 11 picked by Big Phil Clement that he needs to rip up the game plan 50 minutes into the game because the starting 11 isn't working. Just pick the boys that deserve to actually play. And that's all I'm going to say about Silva. I know he's a young laddie, I know this, but he costs Wolves £35 million. I shouldn't be sitting at half time thinking I'd actually bring Scott Wright on from. You know what I mean? Now, it wasn't actually Scott Wright that was given a nod, by the way. It was actually Ross McCausland, and Ross came in, and again, he's a young lad. He never stood out or anything like that, but at least he actually tracked back, done a wee bit of work. You saw him occasionally on these actual feet, so that was more of a improvement on big Fabio Silva. And the game sort of was petering out really to the 66th minute of the game, where Leon Balogun hits almost like a 50-50 slide challenge, and that there just seemed to spark just a little bit of life. You know what I mean? The Kevin Thompson tackle, if you will, going back the Souness's style tackle. It's always been there, and it was that moment right there I think sparked the Rangers team actually into life. It doesn't always need to be pretty football. It can be something like that. As the big challenge goes to Dessers, Dessers uses his body brilliantly. Bolton comes in rashly, wins us a dangerous free kick, and Tavernier actually chips it to Dessers. Dessers heathers it down to Cantwell. Cantwell should probably score, if I'm honest with you, but he rolls it just wide. But in the next minute or two, you saw what this Rangers team can actually be, because Cantwell gets on the ball. Lunny plays it to him. Cantwell runs, beats a couple people, shimmies, and then tries to curl it Thierry Henry style down to the right. You just remember these names, Cantwell, not Thierry Henry, so he doesn't get enough bend on it. But at least I'm seeing sparks, I'm seeing creativity, and I'm seeing us on the ascendancy. You know, the way a Rangers team should actually play. And I think it all goes down to that tackle, in my opinion, because the game was a dead rubber, looking like it was only going to be a draw or a loss until that moment. And then we started to come to the boil. And look, maybe it was the substitution, maybe it was the fact that we now had 11 men on the actual part, but there just seemed to be more and more space. You know, Cantwell was trying things, Diomande was getting on the ball, and it's no surprise the next big opportunity ended up going into the back of net as Diomande gets on the ball. And do you know what he does, ladies and gentlemen? He passes it early. He just feeds Tavernier early. He doesn't turn around, observe his options, think about recycling it, waiting for people to get in the positions what they practice on the training part. No, he just gets his heat up and passes it right away to Tavernier. And what does Tavernier do? Takes one touch and puts it in to the mixer, where he's no sitting inside to try and recycle the possession to try and get a goal scoring opportunity that way. No, we've got our best crosser to a football where he should be, and that's out wide, puts it in the right position. And again, it's absolutely brilliant centre forward play. It might look like an easy finish, but look at the movement beforehand. He's got Bolton running into Gogic running in a Bolton. It's sensational bit of movement for Dessers, and he gets his easy tap-in header, if you will. But anyone paying attention in the game knows that's really, really good centre forward play, and that's what drives you crazy about Dessers, because you see moments like that, and then other times it looks like he doesn't get to play or anything like that. So it's weird, the Dessers experience, but again, he's coming good. He's scoring the goals. And that was a game winner. And again, not only was it the goal, but the 10 minutes prior we were on the ascendancy. Dessers starts taking Gogic for a walk in. A wee mention about Gogic, by the way, and I feel like this guy's been annoying me for years. I'm sure he was at Hamilton and he used to drive me crazy, and I think he went to Hibs. I maybe never saw the best of him there. Now he's in St Mirren, and say what you want about the laddie. I know he's a hammer thrower and all this stuff, and he's a wind-up merchant, but see just the way he plays the game. Maybe it's because I've watched so many players play for Rangers and take advantage of it, and maybe no appreciate it the way it is. You can see that guy lives and breathes being a footballer, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying this like, oh my god, see, are you saying we should sign Gogic? No, let's just have a football conversation here. I'm talking about a guy, a footballer that loves being a footballer and leaves the park absolutely with nothing left in the tank. And just the way he played the game, I thought he was the man of the match besides Jack Butland, of course, if I'm being honest with you. Just the way he tackled and the way he threw his head at everything. Again, Dessers does take him a walk for this, but again, it's just a clever foul, wins his there. But we'll speak about Gogic in the next couple of minutes. But honestly, see just the way he approached the game. I just wish your defenders had a wee bit. I know Balogun's got a bit of that, froze his body, and we'll talk about him in a minute or two as well. But just the way he plays the game, I wish I could just take 50% of what he gives in and just inject it to about 7 or 8 of these Rangers players, because we wouldn't be in the mess that we've got. Because if the talent that these individuals had the work rate and appreciation for the game that he's got, we probably wouldn't be getting beat off the Motherwells, the Ross Counties, and drawn with Dundee. Honestly. Tom Lawrence and Scott Wright then comes on the part for Barisic, who played much better the day, and Todd Cantwell, who again was starting to spice up and was one of the major reasons I think we started to get a real stranglehold in the team and start beating the press and make St Mirren go, oh, wait a minute, we can't just overly press. And he played his part in the game, in my personal opinion. And Sterling again was out in the right, then went to left back, shored up that position and looked much better defensively as well from that aspect. And there wasn't too many actual worry points for that. And again, we never created too much to the 90th minute, but I want to talk about the 85th minute because I still don't understand it and I'd love someone to explain it to me. It's a long ball for St Mirren. Jack Butland comes out, wins the ball, boots it away. Obviously Clyde's with the player, but where's he supposed to go, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what I mean? Is he supposed to evaporate? Is he supposed to become Neo into Agent Smith or something like that? He just comes, wins the 50-50, boots it away. It's obviously a collision. It's maybe one of the ends you just stop it to see if the guy's alright. But somehow the referee looks at it and books Jack Butland, and Jack Butland's been around the place, you know, he's played in the Premier League. He is so miffed at the referee's decision, he just doesn't understand it, and he asks what rule did he break? What is he actually done there? And the referee doesn't want to talk to him that, because the arrogance of these guys makes me feel sick to my stomach, by the way. And why are you not got any sympathies for referees? Look at them. Look at them. Thankfully nothing gets done for the phantom free kick that was given for St Mirren. It was wasted and well blocked for Balogun on the second effort. There was a couple corners for St Mirren, but the last corner we're going to talk about really, in my opinion, is the one, the whip. It goes to Balogun, actually gets a brilliant header on it at the back post. It goes to Dessers. Dessers nutmegs Gogic, starts sprinting up the park. St Mirren's got everybody. Dessers is absolutely purring and purring, ladies and gentlemen. He sees Tom Lawrence, plays the right pass. Lawrence is here. There's only one defender here. Dessers is here. It's got to be 3-1. Wrap the game up. Get the goal difference up. Do your thing. Lawrence cuts inside, which is maybe the right thing if you want to actually say about it, and then tries to roll it in the corner. But we talk about appreciation and loving the fact that you play football and the hunger and desire of being a footballer. The guy we spoke about in the breakdown of getting nutmegged inside the opposition box has sprinted 75 yards all the way, run by his goalie and clears it off the actual line. It's absolutely incredible. I don't think we've got a single player in our team that can do that, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not saying we should sign him with that, but that type of grit and determination and the way he works his absolute arse off, that is outstanding for Gogic. Poor probably for Tom Lawrence. He could square it to Dessers. Dessers gets the other goal and we wrap up. But we've never put the team first. We just haven't. We can say what we want. They can fire out in tweets. They can do this and they can show them. But when push comes to shove, we have made the individual decision and the personal accolades each and every single time. Dundee United a few years ago. There's plenty for there. We can go through it all if we want to. But we never make the extra pass for the easy goal because it's all about personal accolades rather than the team. Pass it to Dessers. Dessers got a tap in, but we go for it ourselves to wrap up. We don't. But what makes me feel sick is that's the 92nd minute of the game, right? There's 6 minutes added on or something. We've got a corner. Do you know what we do for corners here? We cross the ball to John Lundstrom outside the edge of the box to try and trip up and volley as if we're playing FIFA Street. What are we actually doing? Honestly, I know I'm on a lot about the set pieces, but 92nd, 93rd minute of a game you're winning 2-1 and a game you didn't deserve to be winning. Take the short corner and start ringing it in. Then you start playing FIFA Street madness, ladies and gentlemen, especially when your go-to plan is to chip it to Lundstrom, to flick up and volley. What are we doing? And I nearly came back to haunt us, ladies and gentlemen. Lonnie obviously loses it. He's not got that in his locker. They end up going down. They get behind Balogun. They're running into the box. But thank God for Leon Balogun as he runs in with a phenomenal slide tackle from there. Getting round, getting his foot on the ball and gets it. End up clear. That there is a match-winning slide tackle. Maybe it wasn't near his best game and I know he got bumped for the goal, but that there is as good as a goal, because if he mistimes that, It's a penalty kick, we're dropping points. If he misses it, they're in there, they've got the overlap. Phenomenal for Leon Balogun, and the last bit of the game has ended up being another corner kick that sort of falls into the arm of Jack Butland. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. It was certainly not a pretty game, but the way that we've played over the last month, it probably was never going to be. It was all about winning. I'm buzzing that we actually won the game. If we could just fix and tidy up some of the madness and stop picking starting 11s that can't get by 50 minutes on the clock before needing to change it, we might just see an improvement in terms of the performances. But performance or no, I don't care. I'm buzzing. I'm going to be sleeping the night with a smile on my face. We won the game of football. I know it's going to be a hell of a lot better. I know that's what you're going to be saying in the comments, but we won the game. Move on. Learn what a set piece is, and that's all I've got to say. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And until the next video, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. All the best, and bye-bye.